In a quiet little village, nestled between green fields and tall, whispering trees, lived a kind farmer named Ravi. Ravi was a humble man. He didn't have much, but what he did have, he shared with an open heart. And his best friend in the entire world was a dog named Buddy, a loyal brown dog with bright, intelligent eyes and a heart overflowing with love. Every single morning, Buddy would joyfully follow Ravi to the fields. As Ravi toiled under the warm sun, planting seeds and tending to his crops, Buddy would sit patiently nearby, a faithful guardian watching over his friend. And when Ravi returned home, tired from a long day's work, Buddy would greet him with a furiously wagging tail and a happiness that only a true friend can give. One evening, as the sun began to dip behind the rolling hills, casting long shadows across the valley, dark, ominous clouds started to gather on the horizon. A powerful storm was brewing. Ravi quickly gathered his tools, a sense of urgency in his steps, and hurried back to his small, cozy home with Buddy right at his heels. Soon, the wind began to howl like a mournful Wolf. Rain poured down in relentless sheets, and thunder roared, shaking the very ground beneath them. Inside their small hut, the world outside seemed to disappear. Ravi lit a single lantern, its warm glow pushing back the shadows. He looked at Buddy, who was huddled close by, and said gently, "Don't you worry, Buddy, we'll be safe in here together." But that night, fate had a cruel twist in store. A brilliant flash of lightning struck a tall, ancient tree near their home. In an instant, flames erupted, greedily spreading from the tree to the dry thatch of the hut. Their safe haven was on fire. Ravi was trapped inside. Thick, choking smoke filled the air, making it impossible to see, impossible to breathe. Buddy barked loudly, a desperate, frantic sound, again and again, but his cries were swallowed by the deafening roar of the storm. No one could hear him. Without a moment's hesitation, the brave little dog charged back into the burning house. He found Ravi, disoriented and coughing, and began pulling at his sleeve, tugging him with all his might toward the doorway toward safety. Through the stinging smoke, Ravi finally understood his dog, his little Buddy, was saving his life. Together, they stumbled out into the cold, pouring rain, collapsing onto the muddy ground just as the roof of the hut caved in. Ravi hugged Buddy tightly, his tears mixing with the raindrops on his face. "You saved me," Ravi whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You're not just my pet. You are my family." The next morning, the storm had passed. The sun shone down on a scene of devastation. The house was gone, reduced to a pile of smoldering ash, but they were alive. When the villagers saw what had happened, they rushed to help, their hearts moved by the story of Buddy's bravery. Together, they rebuilt the small hut piece by piece. From that day on, Buddy wasn't just Ravi's dog, he was a hero in the village. But that's not where their story ends. Years went by, Buddy grew old. His brown fur turned a distinguished gray, and his steps became slower, more deliberate. But his loyalty, his love for Ravi, never faded. One cold winter night, it was Ravi who fell ill. He was weak, barely able to move, his breath shallow in the frigid air. Buddy lay faithfully beside him, his own body a small furnace, keeping his friend warm, never leaving his side for a moment. When Ravi's neighbors came to check on him the next morning, they found the old dog curled up protectively next to his master, a loyal guardian, watching over him until the very end. Buddy's incredible loyalty became a legend in the village. Children grew up hearing the tale of the dog who taught everyone the true meaning of love and faithfulness. And at the edge of the field, where the two friends had once spent their days working side by side, the villagers placed a small, smooth stone. Carved into it were the simple words, "Friendship never dies." This story reminds us that true friendship isn't measured in words, but in selfless actions. Loyalty and love can make even the smallest heart the greatest of all. Sometimes, it's our animal companions who teach us the most profound lessons about life, the ones we humans can so easily forget. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that inspire. We'll see you in the next one.